Setting up your terrain at the start of a new project is really simple, and Role Creator is designed to allow you plenty of flexibility for various needs with other programs. At the top of the outliner, the terrain layer establishes the global settings for our landscape's physical scale and its resolution. More on that in a moment. There are many uses for creating a terrain, but it all comes down to three main outcomes that may be good to know up front. Creating a procedural terrain, which means the scale of the terrain doesn't need to be locked in at this stage, but can be at any time. Creating a terrain for specific programs such as Unreal Engine, which has its own landscape size requirements that would be good to start out with. It's not imperative, but it's good practice. And creating a terrain based on real world data that you are trying to match the scale precisely one to one. Let's assume we are going the first route for now and start out procedurally. However, if you are planning for a terrain to be tiled for another application, this is done upon exporting, so be sure to set the scale appropriately up front. In the Properties panel, we can see the default terrain size is 1024 meters by 1024 meters. You can manually type in any size terrain you want within these boxes, or you can select one of the 8 preset sizes to quickly pick between these industry standard scales. Below the terrain size adjustment is the precision setting, which adjusts the density of the terrain's detail, or in other terms, the subdivisions of the surface mesh. The default setting means that the terrain's mesh is subdivided by every 1 meter quadrant of vertices. Since our terrain size is 1024 meters by 1024 meters, this precision value makes the height map resolution of our terrain 1024 pixels by 1024 pixels. If we wanted to double the density of the terrain's details or mesh, then we can choose a half meter precision level and our terrain's resolution increases to 2048 by 2048, even though the physical scale of the model within Role Creator remains 1024 by 1024. There are a variety of precision levels to choose from, but this would be a good opportunity to think about optimizing your experience. You may want to design the terrain with 1 meter of precision in mind, and upon export, use a half or even a quarter meter of precision to get the finer details. In general, the more filters or customization to the physical shape of the terrain you have, the longer it could take to generate the terrain, especially if you have a very tightly packed amount of subdivisions. As a rule of thumb, most games will hover around 1 or 2 meters of precision for larger terrains, or perhaps even a half a meter of precision for smaller terrains. For cinema, the hero scene could be even tighter, but with distant vistas being much more low poly. It's all a matter of what your end goal is. The high detail preview mode works best for larger terrains or terrains that need to render resolutions higher than 8K. This is a level of detail control specifically for the viewport camera so that you can have a view region that shows the full detail of what you're editing regardless of the terrain size. To demonstrate this, let's size the terrain to 4K and have a precision level of a quarter meter, making the resolution 16K. Other than having this preview mode turned off, you can choose between set mode or camera mode. Set mode lets you specifically place and adjust this view region on the surface to which you want to see the greater detail. As you can see within this box, there is greater detail visible within it, and the rest of the terrain on the outside of the box is rendering for optimization purposes at a lower resolution. Same circumstance when choosing the camera mode, except this mode automatically moves the view region with your viewport camera's location. Thanks for watching, I'll see you soon.